Let's imagine two teenagers. Let's call them Alex and Ryan. Both receive $100. Alex spends it immediately. A few days later, the money is gone. Ryan does something different. He spends some, saves some, and keeps track of where the money went. Neither teenager became rich. But something important happened. Ryan started building a money habit, and that's much more valuable than $100. Before you turn 18, learn 3 simple things: how to earn, how to save, and how to spend intentionally. You don't need to become an investing expert. Start by tracking your money. If you receive $20, $50, or $100, ask, where did it go? Because money has a strange psychological effect. If you don't track it, small purchases feel harmless. $5 here, $10 there, another subscription, another impulse purchase, and suddenly, the money disappears. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau recommends teaching teenagers habits such as saving part of what they earn and tracking spending. The goal isn't to become obsessed with money, the goal is to understand it. Because when you understand money early, you have more choices later. Don't just learn how to make money, learn how money behaves. Here's a mistake many teenagers make. They ask, what career should I choose? That's a huge question. Instead, ask, what useful skill can I become really good at? Think about someone who spends 1 year learning video editing. Another teenager learns graphic design. Someone else learns coding. Someone learns communication. Someone learns sales. Someone learns writing. At first, they're just teenagers learning something. But after hundreds of hours of practice, something changes. They now possess something valuable, a skill that can solve a problem for someone else. And that's the basic idea behind earning money. You provide value. Someone is willing to pay for that value. This is why your teenage years can be powerful. You have something incredibly valuable: time to practice. Harvard's Center on the Developing Child explains that skills such as planning, focus, self-control, and through practice, and adolescence is an important period for building these capabilities. So don't try to learn 15 skills at once. Pick one. Practice it consistently. Build small projects. Make mistakes. Improve, then repeat. You don't need to be an expert before 18. You just need to become better than you were yesterday. Here's a scary thought. What if your biggest problem isn't lack of time? What if it's where your attention goes? Imagine you have 2 teenagers. Both have 2 free hours. The first spends those 2 hours jumping between short videos, notifications, messages, and random content. The second spends part of those hours learning a skill. At the end of one day, the difference is tiny. After 1 year, it can be enormous, because your attention determines what gets repeated, and what gets repeated becomes a habit. The US Surgeon General has highlighted concerns about the potential effects of social media on young people's mental health and notes that youth social media use is extremely widespread. The answer isn't necessarily delete everything. The answer is to become intentional. Before opening an app, ask, why am I opening this? If you don't know the answer, maybe you don't need to open it. Try creating periods where your phone isn't controlling your attention. Read, study, walk. Talk to your family, work on a skill, sit quietly. It may feel boring at first, but boredom can give your brain space to think. And attention is one of the most valuable resources you'll carry into adulthood. Protect it. Here's another story. Imagine someone who spends years treating their body like it's unlimited. They sleep whenever they want, eat whatever is convenient, never move. Spend hours sitting. Then one day they realize, I don't feel energetic anymore. The problem didn't start that day. It started with hundreds of small decisions. Your body is the system that carries everything else. Your goals, your education, your career, your relationships, your dreams. So, before 18, build simple habits. Get regular physical activity. Eat a balanced diet. Drink enough water. Get enough sleep. And don't treat sleep as wasted time. Teenagers need substantial sleep for healthy development, learning, and daily functioning. The goal isn't to create a perfect body. The goal is to build a body and routine that support your life, because you can have the best ambitions in the world. But if you constantly feel exhausted, it's much harder to execute them. This might be the most important one. Imagine you're 17. You try something, and you fail. You get a bad grade. Your project doesn't work. Someone rejects your idea. Your first video gets almost no views. You try again. It fails again. Your brain says, maybe I'm just not good at this. That's where many people quit. But failure isn't always evidence that you're incapable. Sometimes it's information. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You don't become good because someone gives you a motivational speech. You become good because you try, lose balance, adjust, and try again. The same principle applies to many skills. Harvard's research on executive function emphasizes that capabilities such as planning, self-control, and flexibility can be developed through practice and feedback. So before 18, learn to ask, what can this failure teach me? Not, what does this failure say about me? That's a powerful psychological difference. Imagine you have 5 friends. They constantly tell you, don't take school seriously. Don't try anything new. Everyone fails anyway. Just waste time. Now imagine another group. They say, let's study. Let's build something. Let's exercise. Let's learn. Let's improve. Same teenager, different environment, different direction. Your friends don't completely determine your future, but your environment can influence your behavior. Humans naturally look around and ask, what is normal here? If everyone around you wastes time, wasting time feels normal. If everyone around you works towards something, effort starts feeling normal. So, don't choose friends only because they're entertaining. Look for people who respect you, people who encourage you, people who can laugh with you without pulling you away from your goals. And remember, you don't need 100 friends. A few good people can be enough. Now imagine yourself at 25. Don't think about a specific car. Don't think only about money. Ask better questions. What kind of person do I want to be? Disciplined, creative, independent, kind, financially responsible, healthy, skilled, reliable, confident? Because here's the psychological secret. Your future isn't created in one giant decision. It's created through thousands of small decisions. Every time you study instead of procrastinating, every time you save instead of impulse spending, every time you practice instead of quitting, every time you tell the truth, you're casting a vote for the person you're becoming. And that's why you shouldn't wait until 18. You can start now. You don't need permission to become more disciplined. You don't need to wait for college. You don't need to wait for your first job. You can begin with one small decision today. Let's put all 7 together. Number 1, learn money. Number 2, build one real skill. Number 3, control your attention. Number 4, take care of your body. Number 5, learn from failure. Number 6, choose your friends carefully. Number 7, decide who you want to become. Notice something, none of these require you to be rich. None require you to have your entire career planned. None require you to know exactly what you'll be doing at 30. That's the point. Before 18, your biggest advantage isn't money. It's your ability to learn, experiment, and build habits. And habits can compound. $1 saved doesn't make you rich. One day of studying doesn't make you an expert. One workout doesn't transform your life. One good decision doesn't change everything. But hundreds of good decisions? That's different. So, if you're watching this before 18, remember this. You don't need to have your life figured out. You don't need to become a millionaire at 18. You don't need to look successful on social media. And you definitely don't need to compare your timeline with someone else's. Your job right now is simpler. Build yourself. Learn how money works. Develop a valuable skill. Protect your attention. Take care of your health. Learn from failure. Surround yourself with good people and become intentional about the person you're becoming. Because one day you'll look back at your teenage years and you'll realize something. The biggest gift you could have given your future self wasn't money. It was preparation. So don't wait for your 18th birthday to start becoming an adult. Start building the person you want to become today. And if this video gave you something useful, subscribe. Because your future doesn't change overnight. It changes one decision at a time.